Hi guys, and hello from the hilltop. I'm the Plateau Perfectionist, and I want to welcome you to my channel. Alright guys, so today is going to be my setup for April 2020's bullet journal. My theme for this month is actually kind of inspired by my simple elephant theme, which was mermaids. And while I was doing some research into some mermaid stuff, I found manatees, and I was like, you know what, I will do mermaids in the simple elephant planner, and then mermaids with curves in my bujo, aka manatees. And all of these manatees are hand-drawn. I did use some reference pictures and stuff that I found on Pinterest and on the all-knowing Googles, but otherwise they're all hand-drawn. And I'm sorry if my editing is a little jump around, kind of sorta. When I was putting this all together, it was before I edited and double timed everything, it was like over an hour long, and that's too long to BS. So I cut down a lot of stuff. I quick clipped a bunch of stuff, and not only that, but my head kept getting into some of the shots, so I had to cut around some of that. But anyway, so my quote page here says, "In a world full of mermaids, I would rather be a manatee," because that is me. I enjoy mermaids, don't get me wrong. My favorite Disney movie of all time, especially when I was little, was The Little Mermaid. And I actually knew it in English and some in Spanish, because our first copy that I ever got was accidentally in Spanish. But either way, but I actually really like manatees. I've always thought that they were very cute, and I just like how slow and quiet and kind of graceful that they are, just lumbering around being themselves. So that's, yeah, I know, totally dorky, but okay, so on to color scheme. So again, I mentioned last month I was going to try to avoid using my zebra modeliners, so all of the markers that I used for this monthly spread are my Crayola Super tips. I used a gray, a dark kind of navy blue, a lighter blue, the green, and then later on I introduced the purple marker that I used in my simple elephant planner, just because it was on hand, and I was like, well, if I'm gonna challenge myself not to use my zebras, I might as well challenge myself not to use my favorite black pen. So my black pen does not make an appearance in any of the spread. I also tried practicing some curly fonts and changing up my font a little bit, and I think the little banner things came out pretty well. They weren't perfect, but especially that mermaids one, but the manatee one came out pretty nice. And my mom, when I showed these to my mom, she's like, "Oh, you did seals." No, Mom, they're manatees. I swear they're manatees. And after they were colored, they look a lot more like manatees. So again, just some curly font, and then my doodles, and then I did, towards the bottom, you can't see it here, but I did scribble grass. Scribble grass is the easy grass to draw because it's scribbling at the bottom. And of course, here's a manatee eating a leaf, because despite their large size, they are vegetarians. But yes, scribble grass. And again, it says you just draw it in, and then you scribble color. And it looks like I'm not even going that fast, but I was scribble. And I cut out all the parts where I erased all the pencil lines and everything, because I did draw it all out and all that good stuff. I probably could have done some shading on these manatees and make them look less two-dimensional, but you know what, it's my bullet journal. And anyway, I did add some washi tape, and weirdly enough, I only in the video I only put washi tape on the quote page and this title page, but later on I did go by and was like, oh crap baskets, I did not put any washi tape on any of my other pages, so I went back and fixed that. The same thing with the little bubble doodles and things like that. I added bubbles here, there, and everywhere, but see, washi tape. I stuck with 3 colors of washi tape just because I have a limited supply of washi anyway. I used a dark gray, a dark navy blue, a lighter blue, and then there was like a light greenish, pastel-y green color that I had. And I've used these washis a gazillion times before, but hey, whatever. Like I said, I have a limited supply of washi. Oh, and in case you were wondering, that little clip thing that I bought, it came in a pack of 6 in different colors, and I got those at the dollar store. So I decided to be a little different with my monthly spread, and instead of doing squares, I did circles. Why? Because I'm a crazy person. And I figured they would kind of look like bubbles, because underwater you have bubbles, and that totally made sense in my head. But, so yeah, bubbles, circles, and all the bubbles, not all the bubbles are the same size, because not all bubbles are the same size. So yes, there's my manatees. I didn't really fill out this, my month at a glance. That's what I was looking for. I did not fill out my month at a glance, because y'all don't need to know what I'm up to. Besides, since the quarantine stuff has happened, certain things have changed, especially for the month of April. Here in New Mexico, our schools are currently out until the 6th, and since I work for our county had an emergency meeting, and they decided that they were going to be out until school resumes. That's what we're looking for. And then we will decide if we need to go back to work or not. But yes, I used that light blue for my bubbles. 1 sticker, just because I didn't really want to write the word April, because I'm lazy. And then, of course, I kept all the manatees the same color. I just kept with the gray. I was going for a really simple palette. I didn't want to kind of overdo it, because I was afraid they would end up too dark. The only other grays that I had were really dark, like an almost like charcoal, and I didn't like that. When I was practicing drawing these and coloring these, I tried doing the gray first and then the outline. It looked a little better, but it was hard to see my sketch lines, so that's why I do them all, the outlines first and then color them. And that is actually the lightest color gray that I have, so that's what I used. And I also made little lines on my bubbles to make them look like bubbles instead of just random circles. And then, of course, I colored my scribble grass, because you have to color your scribble grass. And then, of course, more bubbles for the manatees, because the manatees do breathe air. And what you might not notice is that the bubbles for the manatee in the bottom right-hand corner, they almost look like fart bubbles, because they're next to his butt. But now you know my secret. So yeah, I did leave room for washi tape. I just forgot to put the washi tape on this page. But yes, scribble grass, and our schools are out. So now you know what's going on in my life. Hence why I had plenty of time to get these done, and they're not 10 days late like last month's was. Okay, on to the trackers. So I told you I was going to challenge myself and maybe change up my trackers a little bit. I'm still trying to figure out what's my favorite tracker. So I decided to do a dial style or circle style habit tracker. Just a word for the wise. If you have a Tegacore or any hardback journal like I do, I was having some trouble getting my pen to make a full circle all the way around, because of the way I was pressing down on my spinning ruler here, which I bought at Hobby Lobby, in case you were curious. It's a Helix brand, I think. Anyway, if you have something put underneath the hardback, that way it kind of has something to press into and you get a full circle. But I just kind of went with what I had, and then freehanded the rest of the circle to make it a full circle. Another thing I did was I split up my weight tracker and my sleep tracker, because as you know, I have my all-time favorite little T or plus sign habit tracker, sleep tracker, not habit tracker, sleep tracker, weight tracker, sleep tracker. that I have used in like the past 3 or 4 months, and I dearly love it, but I said I was going to try something different, so I split it into 2 trackers. So the right side of the page is the sleep tracker, and I'm going to do these lines in green, and it's basically, I have it's set up for I think like 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. There's enough space next to each day of the week all the way down, so by the time it's all filled out, even if they don't, you know, stretch all that way, they'll kind of look like seaweed, I guess. But anyway, I was just trying something new, and I couldn't fit it to go vertically, so they're going to go horizontally, and I'll take an after picture as I get some of them put in, and so you can see what they look like. And then of course there's my dial habit tracker, which this is going to be a first for me. I have never done a circular habit tracker. Hopefully it does good. I'll have to show like a before and after or whatever. So I wonder, has anyone ever done a sleep tracker kind of like this? I mean, it was kind of interesting that I looked up sleep trackers to try to get some inspiration to see, and they all looked about the same. So, I mean, I'll have to do some pictures to show people how it's working, if it works at all. I really don't know. And of course, that manatee at the bottom, he's sleeping because it is a sleep tracker, and he's sleeping in scribble grass. And you'll see me put the scribble grass in a little bit. So weird and kind of interesting fact about manatees. There's like 5 or 6 different species of manatees, including the dugong. I thought that was such a weird name, but they kind of look weird. They don't look as cute as some of the other manatees. So these manatees are cartoony and my own kind of style. Pardon my squeaky chair because my chair squeaks. And this one was doing a backflip because manatees can totally do a barrel roll. For giant gray blobs, they can be surprisingly a pain in the butt to draw. Not so much to color, but to draw. They can even get like moss and barnacles on them if you're not careful. Okay, so these manatees on this page, my weight tracker, which is on the left page, and then my mood tracker, which is on the right page, those are a lot more freehand drawn than... And then of course my mother promptly interrupts me, so if there's like this random pickup in the middle of my voiceover, that's totally why. These manatees are completely hand-drawn. They're based off of a real manatee reference picture. I just turned them into cartoons. The one on the mood tracker is my absolute favorite one. Mom likes the one on the weight tracker because she's like, that's totally me. I said, okay, Mom, whatever you want to go with. So yes, real mermaids have curves, as you can plainly see, because I firmly believe this. And I'm just going to write down my weight in each of those bubbles, and it goes all the way from 1 to 30, and that's going to be my weight tracker. The mood tracker, that's what it is, mood tracker, is slightly different. I called it mood lines. So basically I have different faces, happy, sad, tired, angry, whatever, and they're each going to be designated a color, and then as depending on what day it is, I'm going to draw the line, and the lines kind of are supposed to represent because the picture of the manatees was taken underwater, so you can see the ripple lines of the water above, so that's what they're going to reference. Lay down. My dog is whining. If you can hear him in the background, he's pouting because Mom is cooking cornbread, and he cannot have cornbread because he is dog. Why is it that my voiceovers always have something? Last time I was eating, this time I have a whiny dog, and my mother interrupting me because she needs a tray for her lap because she's quilting. my life is special. So, you know what's going to happen? I'm going to color my faces here. I'm going to add some scribble grass at the bottom because why not? And then I'm going to move on to my next track. But at least I have video of all of my stuff this time instead of last time where my camera decided to stop recording and not tell me. This time I was prepared. Oh, speaking of cameras, so my mom has a Nikon and she said I could use it to start filming. The only problem is that I need to get an extender piece for my tripod in order for it to extend over my desk so I can record things. Not only that, but I was reading the book and the maximum you can record is 10 minutes, whereas my phone can record for 33 minutes. So I'm sitting here going, I'm going to have to test this out and see. So, expenses. Basic expenses tracker. Totally just normal things you see every single day, blah, blah, blah. I kept with just the cool blues and grays, and then I left the page to the right page blank because I still need to print out my Excel sheet that's going to go there that shows all of my bill, my bill tracker for the month, and that's what goes on that page. But since I didn't have it printed out, I just left it blank. If y'all are still interested, I can totally do a budgeting video. I may do one just because I'm freaking bored because I'm out of work and Florida cleaned my whole house. And I did 2 videos in 3 days because I'm so bored. Even at work, I'm not this bored. I repotted all of my potted plants. I've done 2 videos, including editing and voiceovers. I already have them scheduled to post. I have cleaned my entire house. I have done all of my laundry. Yeah, I may just do the budgeting thing just for something to do. When it gets to the point where I'm about to pull my TV out of my closet because I don't have my TV set up, I don't watch that much TV, and my Wii, just so I can play Animal Crossing or something because it's mind-numbing and simple, you know I'm bored. Oh, look, my sister posted something on Facebook and I don't care. So I was making lines on my expense tracker and it was starting to damage my marker, so I stopped. In case you were wondering why there's only like 10 lines. Not only that, but I was starting to smear because it was rubbing up against the ruler and the ruler's edge was smearing it. Alright, on to the weekly spread. So, fun fact. I was going to do my two-page spread like I did in March, just a very minimalist spread because I like to have plenty of room to write stuff. And while I was at work one day, I started drawing out my manatees and I had my cover page or title page already done, and I was like, oh, I should write in my pages, and I thought I had enough for all the weeks of March and the weeks of April. I was off by 1 page. So I had to figure out how to make a 1-page spread for week 3 and a 1-page spread for week 4 in March. That's how this particular spread came across, where I have enough room for all 7 days. And like I said, I kept the colors real simple. And I actually like it. I still have plenty of room to write everything, and everything is clear and concise, and it works. And I'll fill it out as I need. So we're going to do the flip through, and you'll see all of my lovely goodies. So my pages don't want to cooperate. So there's my quote page, my title page with my manatees, my monthly spread, not filled out, but you get the general gist. Habit tracker, sleep tracker. I will let you know how these turn out when they get full. Weight tracker, mood tracker, same answer. Expenses, that page is blank for a reason. And then my very first weekly spread. Alright guys, I want to thank you so much for watching my video today. I would love a like, a subscribe, by all means leave me a comment, and also you can find me on these other platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and then my website at theplatowperfectionist.com.